If you could be a member of any TV sitcom family, which one would it be?
Probably Friends. I think it's funny.
Well,
I
if you're
love
going to
it.
be family, doesn't that be Monica Chandler, I guess? You'd be the third one.
Probably.
What is the stupidest thing you've done because someone dared you to?
Ooh. Here we go.
I think the dumbest thing that I've done is jump into a lake. And I could have got disqualified from my shooting team from doing it.
From your what?
Shooting team, Scott County shooting team. It was years ago, but someone dared me to jump into the lake, and I jumped in before
Is this a new cross country thing we don't know anything about?
No.
You shoot people as you go, or
No.
or what?
That's how you eliminate the competition.
No, it
Pick up
was
some
years ago.
spots.
I didn't know there was a decathlon. It's Scott County. Okay, cool.
All right, moving right along. We got 3 more for you. Would you rather be trapped in an elevator full of people with body odor or 3 soaked dogs?
Probably 3 soaked dogs, because I don't
Really?
care. I love dogs.
Well, my response to that was the dogs probably, because after a couple of hours, the dogs will still be friendly.
Yeah, I know.
Pat, what did you do? We got the owner of
What would
Campus
you
Driving,
do?
Pat Haley. He's here. He's listening. And so, what do you think?
Would you rather be trapped
I'm not
in
going
an
to get on
elevator?
that elevator.
Okay. What is the most useless class you have ever had in school?
Oh, there it is.
Hit him with
I
it.
saw you laughing at that one earlier.
Hit him with it.
Probably the most useless class is
All of it.
nutrition wellness.
Nutrition.
Okay.
Because...
Because you eat fast food every night?
No, I work it off, so...
We're not judging.
I gotta have so many calories in a day.
Ever since the Burger King incident.
I feel bad for saying it. It's a fun class, but I just,
Okay, it's all good. It's all good.
Useless.
Again, we
It's
didn't say
useless.
history
It's
like
not
Sarah
that
did
useless.
last week.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Kilgore.
Yes, Miss Gill. It's useless.
No, it's not.
She just said it.
Let's move right along to another pressing question. Have you ever cheated on a test?
Not a test, but maybe a quiz. I wouldn't cheat on tests. There's no opportunities. They space us out.
So given
So
the
it's not
opportunity,
from lack of desire, it's just lack of functionality.
If you don't know a question, you never know what to do.
so everybody will be watching you from here
No,
on out.
Alright, let's do a couple more if we got time. We got time?
Well, we close it down.
Okay.
So we're good till then.
If your life was a movie, which actress would you want to play you?
Oh, if my life was a movie. I honestly don't know, because I'm not a big movie person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really
I'm
not.
going with Scarlett Johansson.
Why?
To play you, Joe?
She kind of looks like you.
Totally.
No, for you.
Okay, and this is the one you're laughing at the football players over. Who's your celebrity crush?
Chris Evans. All the way. Captain America.
Chris Evans?
He plays Captain America.
Oh, that's okay.
And that's a wrap from my end.
All right. So, I want to say thank you for spending just a little bit of time with us. Hope we had a little bit of fun. And again, you all's the district meet comes up on the 30th, and you all are at Sugar Hollow. Is that
Sugar
correct?
Hollow, yeah.
And then the region is.
I can't remember. I'd have to look on their calendar. I don't keep up with it, really.
See, if you'd have studied and weren't cheating.
No, I don't have to study that.
That's right. So, thank you so much for spending.
Oh, you're
time with
welcome.
us.
It was
And,
fun.
Hope we had some fun. So, again, like I said, support all of our Gate City athletes. We're going to go to break right now for the first time tonight. We'll sort of get back on the rails a little bit. We'll go over our tweet it or delete it. We'll highlight some of the games from last week. We'll get you ready for Gate City and Lehigh coming up again less than 48 hours away from Legion Field again. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Proudly representing Southwest Virginia in the House of Delegates for the last 24 years, Terry Kilgore continues to strive and work hard for others. Just like our Gate City Blue Devils proudly represents our school, our town, and community. Delegate Kilgore, a proud Gate City alumni himself, wants to thank the residents of the 1st District for their trust and support over the years as he's continued to voice our needs and concerns in Richmond to make our region a tremendous place to live and work. And on behalf of Delegate Kilgore and his family and staff, they say, go Big Blue! Open 6 days a week and specializing in all types of truck, trailer, and heavy equipment repair, M&P Repair can take care of all of your needs. Serving the area from their convenient Gate City location on U.S. Highway 23 North, M&P Repair also works with owner-operators and fleet operators for maintenance, repairs, and they also give free estimates. So give them a call today at 276-870-0989. That's 276-870-0989. M&P Repair proudly supports Gate City Athletics.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
All right, we are back here live from the campus drive-in on Kane Street here in Gate City. Again, just depends on the measurement, 100 to 250 yards away from Legion Field. But anyway, I want to say thank you again to Pat. Again, they host us every week here, and want to say thank you to them. And, of course, I want to say thank you to everybody that took some time with us tonight. It's been a great night. Again, I always want to say thank you to, like, Julie, to Coach Chris Fugit with the Big Blue Boosters, as well as helping us out talking about the football team. Of course, Coach Housewright and the boys. Great night, Chris. And
Joe, I finally answered the question. According to Google Maps, it is 0.3 of a mile from the campus drive-in to Gate City High School.
But that's not as the crow flies. That's
correct. That's as you would have to walk it.
So, okay. 0.3.
No, we know.
And so now how many feet is that?
Let's see. While you're doing your next bit, I will do the math.
My next bit.
Let's see, 5,280 divided by 33, right? 160. No, wait, that wouldn't be right.
Okay,
I don't teach math.
He teaches history, so just really quick, again, touching on the ball game from last Friday night, it was Gate City early and often, winning 55-0 over Marion. Again, Landon Blanton scored 2 of Gate City's 8 total touchdowns in manhandling Marion for that non-district win. Carson Jenkins had a punt return for a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown pass. DeAndre Mack scored a defensive touchdown. Logan Tomlinson had a touchdown and an interception. Calhoun and Levi supplied other runs, scoring runs. Gate City forced 4 turnovers, and they never allowed the Scarlet Hurricanes in the red zone one time. So that's pretty awesome. The best they've played, I think, possibly all season.
Well, before this game, I would have thought that the Abingdon game, I would have said was their best game, even though they lost it. But, yeah, definitely the case. And according to my calculations, which are always suspect, it's 528 yards from campus to Gate City.
What? I thought that was divided by 3.
No.
I thought it was 528 feet.
5,280 feet divided by times 0.3 would give you the total number of feet. Then I divided that by 3 to get the yards, 528.
All right. So, all those who want to dispute that, make sure you send your emails to Chris Carr at Sevier High or Sevier Middle School. All right. So, again, talking about Friday night was a great night, of course, for our Blue Devils as they took care of business. Chris, you had a few games that you wanted to touch on real quick from Northeast Tennessee?
Yeah, there was 5 games I thought were kind of interesting that I wanted to make mention of. First of all, the Dobyns-Bennett, 38, Farragut, 13.
Surprising.
DB improved to 8-0, riding the backs of their rushing attack, and they've been nicknamed now Thunder and Lightning.
Uh-oh.
Philip Thunder Armitage had 113 yards and a touchdown, and Tyler Lightning Tesner had 125 yards and 2 scores. The vaunted Indian defense forced 4 turnovers, and defensive end Jed Harris had 3 sacks. I think this was the Tribe's most impressive win of the season. Farragut won a state title a couple of years ago. Dobyns-Bennett came into the game saturated with injuries, had to play people in positions they weren't used to being in, and they still managed to make this game not even close. Mm-hmm. This week, the 6th-ranked Dobyns-Bennett travels to Morristown West, so I'm anticipating them going to 9-0, heading into the big showdown with Science Hill.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What are the chances that they look ahead against the Morristown West team that at best has been up and down all season. They've been pretty inconsistent. Going on the road with the Hilltoppers coming to Jay Fred in 2 weeks.
Well, this team is they're getting a few upperclassmen worked in now. They've been really young the last couple of years, but the good thing about that is pretty much everyone on this team remembers last year. And I really don't think that they're going to be looking ahead. I don't think they're going to take anything for granted. At least I hope not.
We'll see. We'll see.
David Crockett, 56, Cherokee 20.
Next.
Yeah, senior phenom Cade Larkins, 19 for 29, 287 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He threw 3 touchdowns to Donta Hackler alone, who wound up with 137 yards. This week, though, Crockett hosts Tennessee High, Battle of the Unbeatens. That's got championship implications all over it. Cherokee is off, and I think this is good timing for them. They need a week to regroup after a couple losses here recently.
Of course, they've run the gauntlet themselves. They've been looking at Elizabeth, and then you've got David Crockett,
Greenville.
Greenville. You sandwich all those in. They've played a pretty rough road. So again, still a playoff contending team, but again, just not in that echelon, I don't believe.
Right. Third game I wanted to mention: Daniel Boone 44, Volunteer 14. This game wound up about like I think we both expected it, but it wasn't easy for the hosting Trailblazers. They fell behind early before they got things rolling, and then, cranked off 44 straight points. That kind of iced the game. Volunteer, I found this very interesting, opened the game with a successful onside kick. And then it took 6 plays for quarterback Garrison Barrett to connect with Hayden Powell for a 26-yard touchdown pass, which gave Volunteer the lead 7-0 2 minutes into the game. Then it just went south. This week, Boone travels to Cocke County. Volunteer hosts Morristown East. So it's starting to sound like Boone's getting things going.
Start to get healthy again. The 2 offensive linemen that they had missed for the last 3 weeks came back against Volunteer. Of course, Charlie Cole's still absent, but they are talking about that he would maybe make it back by the end of the season, so hope that for them.
Hampton and Cloudland, this is a huge rivalry game, and it honestly did not live up to my expectations. Hampton won easily 42-6, but that is a tribute to the Bulldogs' offense. The game was close in the first half, but Hampton managed to wear down Cloudland and then just pulled away. Sophomore quarterback Connor Jones had 5 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 2 on the ground. He finished with 109 yards passing and was 8 for 13. This week, Cloudland hosts Jellicoe, and Hampton has a huge game. They host South Green. Speaking of playoff implications there.
Indeed.
And, last year Sullivan Central ended their 36-game losing streak when they hosted Sullivan East. This year, Central was not about to let the Patriots get their revenge. Cougars quarterback Will Nottingham threw 3 touchdown passes to Bryson Crabtree and put this game away in the second half. Central cruised to a 28-14 win, but the game was tied 14-14 at halftime. This week, Central hosts Granger County. East goes on the road to Sullivan South, and South last week was absolutely blasted by Greenville, 49-0. So I'm afraid South's looking for a little revenge this week.
And it is senior night at Death Valley. I know going through the picks, that's I don't think it's going to end well for East.
No,
on senior night after you come through there, because South's been playing pretty good. Of course, they didn't have Reed last week against, and I don't know how much he'll play against the Patriots. But
I don't think he'll have to. I would rest him for the playoffs, honestly.
No. So I think that game will be out of reach pretty quick. So again, just a couple of games. Elizabeth, and of course they got the big showdown this week with Greenville. They knocked off Union County 51-19. Happy Valley 13, Johnson County 6. We knew that was going to be a defensive struggle. Happy Valley just seems to score just enough. And, of course, they've only got the 1 loss on the season. Again, then they play a huge game this week at Sullivan North. Also, Science Hill knocked off Morristown West. Of course, that Dobbins-Bennett will be looking at this week, 42-15. And, again, you talk about Tennessee High knocked off Cocke County. Thomas Walker, Virginia, made the trek over to Hancock County, took care of business, 54-24. Then back over in Virginia, Abington is really starting to get healthy, and they're starting to play some good football, and their schedule starting to ease up a little bit. 49-0, they won over Virginia High. And what we said was probably going to be the best game of the night in Southwest Virginia turned out to be Castlewood with a 4-point win over Twin Springs, 10-6.